The playoffs are back at Lambeau, and the temps, well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. They'll come out with a three tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to file that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here we go.
2nd and 6, just inside of the 30. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. For DeAndre Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach was always saying, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. He's got room past the 30. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
26.
From the 36, Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Christian Harris. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We're scoreless after 1. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Swift will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
2nd and 13. And his throw here is incomplete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That's a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no Madden in the ball, but sometimes for a punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now a draw play. It's Walker. And they'll go backwards here. Losing yardage to the 14. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. 3rd and 1, they opt to pass it, and the one thing happened that could not happen. They took a sack.
Yeah, I just wonder, is that an indictment of their offensive line? Did they think that they couldn't move them enough to pick up a 1st down there? Or was it analytics? Did they think about it that way? In any event, they'll be studying that in the future.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. He finds Watson complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Rodgers now on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Up the middle, Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Alert! Alert!
Now a give, right side, Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field. And that brings up 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out to his left. And my goodness, another interception. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late, and that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down at 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They run again with Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rolling to his left. Jones has it.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. On play action. Now Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Rodgers now on 1st down. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. Touchdown. Robert Tunyon from 21 yards away.
And the Packers are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball,
so they should get another shot.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's taken on the 25. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. That's taken in by Watson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Running right, Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Back to throw, Rodgers. Steps away. Able to find Jones. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Now Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. Got Dobbs over the middle. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. An inside give to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. They come up on a first and goal and most likely four-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Now Jones. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Rodgers to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute.
And now we've got a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point in this situation, this little time left, takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. And inside the final minute, can they get it and hold on? Very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing in this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
He's back to throw. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. And the Packers have just about sewn up this football game. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw. Because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. pass run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a 40